Roll for Crit here with Will and Jonathan. We've just gotten news that Wizards of the Coast has partnered with Ludia to bring a new free-to-play game called Warriors of Waterdeep. It uses card packs and centers around, if you haven't guessed, the Waterdeep famous area of Dungeons & Dragons. And you'll be creating a team from 9 races and 12 classes to go through and gain more loot and defeat monsters.
Yeah, so this is it's a turn-based kind of like a tactics-looking game. The closest analog I could think of, because it's so popular and I know you're a big fan of, is the Fire Emblem Warriors mobile game, which this maybe doesn't look as good as that, but it's certainly in the same genre, as well as, it has card packs that you get, which sounds like something like Hearthstone for your upgrades, but it is not a card game. It is a turn-based tactical guys on a grid D&D game.
Yes, though from what I can tell, first off, just to make sure no one gets confused by the comparison, you do make a team like Fire Emblem Heroes, and I actually stopped playing that, unfortunately. It got too expensive, which we'll get to with this.
Yeah.
But it seems to be more like you move around the map, but when you go into battle, you choose a column, more like old school Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
fight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's
so it's not moving around the map like you do in Fire Emblem, which that's like half the thing. People are like tricking the AI and stuff.
Yeah, it's much more, if you look at the way the fight screens look, it is small. It doesn't look like, like you said, you're not moving around. It is almost more like a Hearthstone kind of a thing, or like that game Dragonfront that we played, the VR card game, where you can move guys around, but only within like a grid of like 3x3 or something like that.
Yeah, and speaking of small, I don't know if you noticed, but in one of the fights, they obviously have to fight a dragon, and they're fighting this red dragon. It's not even fitting on the screen. It looks like it's like hanging on the edge of a cliff.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't play a ton of mobile games. If I do, usually it's like a board game adaptation. But from looking at this, I don't know if I'm judging it too harshly, but the graphics don't look good. And I'm worried that screen real estate that we're talking about is going to make it just feel kind of small and not as epic as they're trying to make me believe it is going to feel.
I didn't think it looked too terrible. It looked a bit more just generic cartoony to me. So that didn't really bug me too much. I did find it funny that the dragon wasn't fitting on the screen.
Yeah, there is that.
But I think we need to really the owl bear in the room.
Perfect.
Trying to think of a good D&D
You
reference.
nailed it.
The fact that this is a free-to-play game and the card system, I'm betting, they say you earn packs from defeating levels, but I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say you're going to be able to buy them too.
Yeah, you can see in the trailer they have, of course, 2 forms of currency. It looks like some kind of gold coins and diamonds.
Oh, just like back when you played the Magikarp game.
Yeah, back like pretty much most of these games. The 2 almost is a little conservative. But... So yes, I'm sure you're right. There are going to be in-game microtransactions, of course. How punishing that will be remains to be seen. You can also see when they're unlocking some of these card packs that there's rarer types of equipment, and it looks like some that are specifically for specific classes. So you may get something for like a ranger, but you don't have a ranger on your team, so you don't need it anymore.
Well, it did say, which was nice, and I think I heard that you can actually trade in cards to get packs. So that could be
right. So that's something. At least they are considering that.
And you can merge duplicates, which is also a nice thing.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that goes. There's also, they showed a little bit of where at times you can choose branching paths, and they kind of had some flavored text of like, oh, you can hear this coming from this way. So maybe they are going to have at least a little bit of that exploration side of D&D, not just the combat, but it seems like mostly combat.
Well, it also, I don't know. I mean, we don't know as much right now, but that scene you mentioned, they actually the 2 doorways had different symbols on them too. So I don't know if that's like, oh, that's a combat room. Oh, that's a boss room or whatever.
That's interesting. Yeah, one of them has like a fist, the other looks like a face of some kind. So maybe that is part of it.
And it could be good. Like, one of the reasons I brought up I stopped playing the Fire Emblem was not actually because I didn't like the game. It's just it got just too much pricey for me, I felt. But that's like, mostly because they did more like events and stuff that only ended after a certain period of time. It's like, oh, you got to get the seasonal guys.
Right. Yeah. So hopefully this will follow a different path. This is coming from a developer called Ludia, as you said, and so far as I can tell, I had never heard of them. Some of their other games, they have some other licenses, like they have a Battlestar Galactica game, a couple Jurassic Park games. Then they have a bunch of game show games like Family Feud and The Price is Right. It doesn't inspire that much confidence in me looking at their past catalog.
Can I pay extra to make you prove that you're the Cylon?
Yes, I hope. I mean, that's the crossover we've all been waiting for, I think.
I will say that for me, the D&D app game that I've been waiting for, that I think would be amazing, is actually a sort of the Pokemon Go style. Like, I think it would be really cool if you made your character on the phone and it'd be like AR, and there would actually be dungeons sprinkled around. You can meet with other people, you know, and actually fight little things there. I think that'd be a really clever and great way to take advantage of the AR craze, because we know a Harry Potter game is coming out like that. So
right. Well, maybe if this is successful, they'll do more mobile games like this. Maybe we'll see something like that.
Oh, and this is more for the D&D veterans out there, but they did say that this would fall more in the 5th edition world, not exactly crossing over into it, but that storyline.
That's good to know. So you won't be missing anything if you are a hardcore tabletop player. They won't have any storylines in there that you need, but maybe some nice references if you are familiar with that world, which is always fun. I don't think they have an actual exact release date for this yet.
No, I believe they just said coming soon.
Yeah.
So mysterious.
So presumably it'll be later this year, probably in the next couple months is my guess.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave some comments down below.
Yeah.